What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Figure It Out of the Basement's Black Series Talk Show. I'm Nate, joined with Justin.
What's up, guys?
And today, it is once again time for another Black Series retrospective. This time, we're dialing the clocks back. We're talking about Red and Black Box Wave 8.
And this is by far the lowest point of the Black Series. You guys know we have been in the Dark Ages. We have been in the Red and Black Box era, and I think this is the climax of everything we've been talking about. This is when things truly started to rot at stores, on the shelves, on the pegs. Hasbro is reporting losses with the Star Wars license for the first time in X amount of years as a result of these couple of waves. But I think this wave in particular is probably the worst wave ever for Black Series. When you think about like the health of the line and what it did to it,
right?
I'm like, how did they survive this wave?
Yeah, we'll definitely talk more about the wave in general a little bit later, because you and I have a little story about a local store,
of course,
that had this wave. So just to give you a rundown, we're still in 2016. Retail price is still $19.99, and Wave 8 is as follows. We have Director Krennic, the Scarif Stormtrooper, and C-3PO with a red arm.
Yeah.
Everyone's favorite version of C-3PO from the hit film, The Force Awakens.
But we're not done there.
Yes.
We have some refreshes, some carryovers, Nate.
Oh.
Alright, let's just jump into it. It's the Imperial Death Trooper, fine, and refreshes of Captain Cassian Andor and Sergeant Jyn Erso from Rogue One.
Weren't those just in the last wave?
Yes.
They thought the characters were going to be so huge.
Yep.
2 waves of them back to back. That's crazy.
Yeah, this makes absolutely zero sense as carryovers, even in the sense of, oh, we have a new film coming out, let's do that. We covered 2015. You guys saw how they handled The Force Awakens, which it was really, really bad, but they found a way to like top how bad they handled it with Rogue One.
Yeah.
I would genuinely consider Rogue One the bigger peg-warming film
100%.
Compared to The Force Awakens, even though everybody thinks Rogue One is the best film since Empire Strikes Back, which it's good.
It is good.
It's better than the sequel trilogy.
Right.
But just as far as the Black Series, definitely the largest stretch of peg warming that the line has ever seen from about, I want to say, 2016, 17, and 18.
Mm-hmm.
I see the end cap here. And they have the shitty repaint.
Well, like I said, we made a pact. We have to buy the AT-ACT pilot for full price.
Oh, we're looking for the toy aisle.
Which aisle is it? That is the real question.
And
Ooh.
and
Nada.
Bingo, boys.
So sick. Keeping them pegs nice and warm, Jen.
I mean, it was just so bad. And you're exactly right. These figures were literally in the previous wave. There are 3 figures in this wave, not counting carryovers. That's insane.
At bare minimum, I guess you could at least give the Death Trooper a pass, because it's a trooper, it's an army builder, so maybe give that a pass. But I just want to jump back to the figures themselves. Number 27, that was Director Krennic, which actually this figure just got re-released,
and it just got a photoreal update. Yeah, this figure is worth $10.12, which is too expensive for how common this figure is. Mm-hmm. Am I crazy, or is this the first Imperial officer in the line? We've done so many episodes of this retrospective. I'm like, we haven't talked about Piet or Veers or...
Yeah, because those are Well, one of Veers was a Walgreens exclusive.
Right. And we didn't... Thrawn wasn't a thing yet.
Damn, I guess Krennic really what? Yeah, I guess so.
That's crazy. And I mean,
Damn.
that's kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's at least a decent officer character to start out on.
True.
Especially now that we're a little bit more familiar with Krennic since we got him in Andor Season 2. Kind of helped build on his character a little bit, so...
True. And this was a figure where we always thought the head sculpt looked pretty good. You have to remember that this is pre-photo reel.
Yeah, I mean, at the time, it was like, wow, not bad.
Right.
I mean, you look at it now, you're like, what are you guys talking about?
Yeah. At the time, I thought the Ben Mendelsohn likeness was actually really good.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm sure you could go back in time and watch some videos about us literally saying things like that, so...
Yeah. Comes with his blaster. You know, I'm pretty sure they missed that he's left-handed.
Yep, both times. They didn't bother to fix it, but yeah, he is left-handed. They could have, bare minimum, left-handed trigger finger.
Right. You do get the cape, which is a hard plastic shell, which is fine. No cap.
Yep.
No cap. But it's whatever.
Yeah.
We thought it was fine. We enjoyed having it. I actually still have this figure because I haven't upgraded it to the photo reel.
Wow. I don't know. I upgraded, so...
I gotta do it. It's on the list.
I paid $25 for a figure that's worth $10.12 just for some new paint.
Yep. And then number 28, the Scarif Stormtrooper Squad Leader.
Ooh.
Is worth $20.26. So, hey, we have a red and black box figure that's over retail.
Yeah.
By 27 cents.
There we go. And honestly, it's a good figure.
It is. It's the one with the blue across. It's the mainline version of this trooper sculpt. There is an exclusive version that was exclusive to Walmart that we'll talk about later in this video. But the squad leader is really cool. It does have some weak weathering compared to the private. Like, it doesn't have that wash.
Right.
But it's still... I mean, we love this sculpt. We've raved about this sculpt on the channel. We love it.
It actually has a Black Series banger video.
True.
All about this particular body. It's a figure that we think is, even still to this day, it's pretty good.
And it has the unique blaster, too.
Right.
I like that.
And the 29th figure in the red and black box is C-3PO, but you might not have recognized him because he's got a red arm.
We knew this one had to get a release. I mean, it's just a repaint of the Walgreens exclusive one that's from the OT. And he just has a red arm, and his eyes look a little bit different. I mean, it's just different deco. There's actually a variant of this figure. Highly rare variant. Chase.
Ooh.
It's just 2 different shades of red for the arm.
Perfect.
We're still in that era where there was weird little variants. I feel like there was tons of them in like the orange line and blue line, a little bit of the red and black box. I think it's kind of neat. I mean, I would never like go out of my way to be like, I need to get the variant.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of neat.
Right. It's a cool running change.
I had this figure for a long time, but I sold it.
Wow. I never owned this figure.
Never.
I kind of really hate C-3PO with a red arm.
Because it's just like, oh, we have to make it ours. We have to put our brand on it. We got to make it different. I hate that too.
It's one of those where like most things in Star Wars swap the color around. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Like, good idea. But when it's something so just like lazy, like making C-3PO just have a red arm for him to be different, I'm just like, no. I couldn't do it.
Yep. So with the back-to-back carryovers of the Death Trooper, Cassian, and Jyn, we have told this story before, but our local Meijer store, one of our local Meijer stores, it was like 75% off clearance or something. So we got so many Death Troopers and Scarif Stormtroopers for $4.
Yep. We
love that.
Yeah, we army built the shit out of those figures.
Yep.
And sometimes they would have like 50% off the clearance price.
Yeah.
So there was a couple times where they were like $2.50.
Yeah. It was absolutely insane. And for any Black Series veteran, you guys know this is just the pinnacle of Black Series rot. I mean, words can't even do it justice. Photos can't do it justice because the sheer scale all over the country, it was just nothing but Jin and Cassian. Go back and watch any Out of the Basement vlog from those years, and it's just endless. Yeah. Jin and Cassian. You could still find them rotting at Walgreens.
I was gonna say, I'm willing to bet there are some Walgreens out there right now.
Yeah.
That probably have Jin or Cassian there. The original figures, the boxes are probably beat to hell. Nice thick layer of dust on top of them.
Yep.
But they're still sitting there for well, they're probably $24.99 now. Absolute insanity. Mm-hmm. Just the total miscalculation of production. Just this is like pure overproduction.
This is the peak of the Dark Ages with this action figure line. I mean, we've been collecting it since 2015, around that time. I've never seen anything worse. I think this situation, because it was so many figures, is worse than General Lando.
Oh,
because sure, you can still find General Lando. General Lando's a peg warmer. It's one figure from one wave. These figures got carried over into multiple different case assortments for no reason. Right. And it just led to literally, I remember Walmarts and Targets with like, I want to say 30 Jin and Cassians. Like, it was that bad. It's easily the worst time ever in the history of this line.
It was so bad. You wouldn't even walk all the way down the toy aisle. You could just see the numbers from a distance, and you're just like, oh, I know it's Jin and Cassian because I see those numbers.
I also think it's why I associate negative feelings with the red and black box packaging, is because of just this era that we lived through. Even though there's plenty of great figures in the red and black box packaging, it's just something about when I see that box, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
Jin and Cassian, no.
Right.
Please.
Right. It was definitely a dark time for the line, for sure.
But let's end on a more positive note, because it just so happens that the two exclusive items that we're going to cover on today's retrospective, which are always kind of separate from the mainline wave that we discuss, it's just that they came out in the same year. We're going to discuss two items, and the first one is actually really interesting that neither of us ever owned, right?
Yeah, I never had this pack.
Yep, it is the Astromech Droid 3-pack, aka R2A3, R5K6, and R2F2. Who are they? I have no idea, but what I do know is that they were Toys R Us exclusive, and they retailed for $54.99, and the current value is around $70.
Wow. Yeah, they are cool droids, and I remember thinking that at the time, but I also remember just not being familiar with them, so I also was like, $55 is insane.
For some reason, I'm like drawn to these designs as just like random astromech, like background, like action figure photography, scene filler, something like that. Even though I don't really have the space for that, I still thought it was cool that they just did 3 repaints like this, because now they have this new astromech sculpt, but they like refuse to use it.
Right. Yeah. I would definitely be more inclined to pick them up these days if they were on the new body.
I feel like I've also never really met anyone who owned this pack, so if you do own it, let us know in the comments down below. Do you enjoy this set? This 3-pack of random astromech droids? Let us know.
And our final exclusive is a Walmart exclusive, and we mentioned it earlier, but this is the Scarif Stormtrooper. This is the Private.
Yeah, this is the one that just has like the red markings on the arm, no real like rank markings on it. It's the exact same sculpt as the Scarif Stormtrooper Squad Leader, But this one has an absolutely beautiful dark wash all over the figure.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's aesthetically the best looking one as a result of the wash.
Yeah. Obviously, I feel like they just had a little bit more budget to play with the paint since it didn't have the striping.
Yeah.
So that's probably why we got the wash on it. But you're right. It does look awesome. It also has like a shorter... It doesn't have the long skirt piece. It's like a short skirt.
Yeah, you're right.
The ammo pouches on the belt. It's like a little bit different. Minor differences with the sculpt. But again, this one is a figure that we still think pretty much holds up to today's standards. It also got an archive release.
Yeah, which is great. I mean, we love army builders.
Yeah.
Even though this figure is not expensive on the aftermarket, it's around $16 value-wise.
It was a little bit more expensive, though, before the archive.
Okay.
It didn't have a crazy value, but it had some value.
Because this was a Walmart exclusive, and we somehow, I don't know if you did, but I somehow found this at a Walmart.
I think you might have got mine.
Okay.
Because I remember having trouble getting this one, because this was also back when like ordering on Walmart.com really wasn't like a thing.
Right.
So it wasn't just like a simple click pre-order. You know, this was still boots on the ground, hoping that it was just on the shelf. And yeah.
As you can imagine, you know, with it being a Walmart exclusive, you pretty much never... That just means, I guess I'm not getting this figure.
Yep. So the archive release was good because, yeah, it's a solid figure. It's one that, like I said, we still enjoy to this day.
Mm-hmm. That was Star Wars Black Series Red and Black Box Wave 8 and a couple exclusives that also came out during 2016. Like I said, easily the lowest point of this line. Like, I feel like we were building up to this point the entire time with like the nuke going off in the thumbnails and everything, because you'll see in the waves that follow, we're kind of getting a break from Disney film.
Yeah,
we kind of go back to a little bit of OT, a little bit of Rebels. Like, it's like a relief. There's a relief coming. It was like a pressure cooker, and it just exploded with these back-to-back like repacks. Well, not technically repacks, but refreshes, carryovers of Jyn and Cassian, and you'll see Krennic get carried over into some...
Oh, don't you worry.
Some upcoming waves, and it's just chaos. This was such a chaotic time. Like, carryovers aren't really common at all. Bo-Katan back in like 2022 was that? She got carried over into 2 different mainline waves, but that's like the last time I remember a carryover.
Yeah, and they certainly don't do it for the characters that you'd think they would actually do it for.
Right.
So, yeah. I mean, I think all in all, it's more of a good thing to just not carry over so much, because it just clogs the pegs. You know, every time you carry something over, the chance of someone needing it for their collection goes down every time.
Right.
You know, because there's always the people that are like, oh, I missed it the first time, so I got it the second time. And it just goes down and down and down. So I think obviously they learned from that. Clearly, because we'll discuss further complications of trying to find new figures in stores because the pegs were so clogged.
True, yeah.
That it created this giant backlog. But that is for another retrospective. Because as of right now, this is all we've got for you on today's episode. Hopefully you enjoyed this Black Series retrospective covering Red and Black Box Wave 8. A real stinker. A real stinker. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you are new. We're always talking about Star Wars The Black Series here on the channel. If you are in a position to help support us directly, we do also offer a couple different channel membership tiers. Check those out in the description down below. I'm Nate. I've been joined with Justin.
See you guys later.
And we will see you all next time on Out of the Basement.